Hello, today we're taking a look at an interview that I want to share with you guys between Tucker Carlson and Thomas Massie. Inside of this interview, we're going to learn about the relationship between Jeffrey Epstein and our current president, how that relationship looked, and how things have looked moving forward with the exposure of the Epstein files. This is the interview that you have yet to see that you definitely want to know the information from. We're going to be diving into it together, and I'll be giving you my insight along the way. Upon recording this video, it's early morning, just waking up, got myself my coffee in hand, ready to go. Hope you guys are having a great day. Let me know what you're drinking. And again, thank you guys for subscribing.
He also told her that if she insisted on following through with this, she was going to hurt his friends. She told me the day he told her that.
Hurt whose friends?
President Trump's friends, his friends. And I suppose some of them have been hurt. Howard Lutnick was shown to be a bald-faced liar.
Are obviously President Trump's party. So people that are alongside of him, in support of him and his presidency and all of that. He had 12 of them that were willing to sign the Transparency Act for the Epstein files, which is essentially the document allowing for the Epstein files to come to be so that we could all see what's going on. But he just mentioned that they chickened out. And at the start of this video, it was mentioned that we're going to be seeing some of Trump's friends, obviously people that he maybe even be personal friends with, or people that are part of his presidential team that would be hurt from the Epstein files. This is something that we heard and that we spoke of just a few videos ago, because this is not brand new news that President Trump didn't want some of this stuff to come out. But I'm really curious as to why. And throughout the video, this is not here to cause a debate. What we're doing is talking about conversations and facts of things that were stated. And I'm really curious about your guys' thoughts throughout.
Would not sign the discharge petition under pressure from the
Okay. So this is important because as I'm making this video, I'm concerned. I don't like sparking debate between left and right, Democrat and Republican. I'm actually not a super political person myself. So when political debates between sides, when Republicans and Democrats go at each other and fight, what we need to remember about anything relating to the Epstein files is it's not a party issue, because there were Democrats and Republicans and people of all races, all areas of the world involved in everything that Jeffrey Epstein was doing. So I don't want this to turn into a political debate. But what he just said was that the three women that he mentioned, they were getting, or at least one of them was getting death threats to her and her family, and it wasn't coming from the other side, the side that the Democrat side that typically hates the Republican side. If you're, looking at that whole battle, it's like that East Coast, West Coast battle. It was actually coming from internal, from the Republican side itself. So the Republican side that didn't want her to sign that bill and to share that information. And I have to say, it's kind of sad that out of the 12 signatures that he initially got, only 3 of them stayed on. That 9 of them, as he called it, chickened out. This is actually an amazing point. When you're a billionaire, the pool of billionaires, people that are in the same class as you, is very small. So it's actually not so strange to be associated, if you are a billionaire, with other billionaires that are in the same class, which in this case happened to be, Epstein and other people that are involved in his network. So having some relation there, maybe reaching out for a charitable donation for an event, in this case, Lutnick's celebration, it's not the weirdest thing. It doesn't incriminate that person into any crimes that Epstein had done. Now, maybe they are involved, but just having reached out for that purpose doesn't equate that right away. That's a loaded question, and I would guess that I already know the answer. But I'll ask you guys what you think. Why do you think that this was something that was worth, fragmenting some of his support team from? The people that had supported President Trump that wanted the Epstein files to come out, why would he put something so hard in the sand right there, this divider, saying that this was something that could not come out? In my opinion, because I will give you my opinion, of course, I think it's because, as he mentioned, his friends will get in trouble, possibly his family, possibly himself get in trouble for things that are exposed that went on with the Epstein files. Now let's see what he has to say. He's basically saying that the people that are in all these positions are the ones that are involved in anything relating to Epstein, and they're the ones that are there that'll end up getting themselves in trouble if they speak, and that there are files that are not yet out, that 3,500 files were released, but there's still files. And he made a great point. He doesn't care if it's 3,000 or 300. The files that may not have been released, first of all, we have to ask the question, why? Why were those documents not released? One. And two, how many are there? And three, what's in them? It's got to be the worst of stuff. It's not that they're trying to save and protect victims. We already know that victims are not trying to be protected here. It's got to be protection of the people that were in the wrong. It doesn't even matter if it's 10 files. If it implicates and if it gets 10 people that are a huge part of this whole network and brings them down. I want to see those files as well. I'm sure many of you interview. If at any point you want to watch it without me hindering it with my insight or my information or my thoughts, I always link the original videos in the description of mine, so you can go show support to the Tucker Carlson show over on his channel as well. That'll be down below. But he's making some great points here. The Epstein files can continue to go on for 10, 20, 30 years because more people are deciding to sue, more people come out as victims, more people come out as someone that actually now wants to speak. Maybe people become very old and they're coming near the end of their life and they finally want to say what they always wanted to say but couldn't regarding the Epstein files, maybe implicating themselves as well, but letting out the truth. So really, the end of this is so far beyond today. There's just so much more that can come out. And 4 administrations. There's presidents that were just mentioned and administrations that were just mentioned that you loved. Maybe you don't love Trump. Maybe you loved Obama. Maybe you didn't love Obama. Maybe you loved Clinton's. What went on with the Epstein files was known by the past 4 administrations. Whether they were involved in it in any way or not, it was known by all of them, whether we loved them or whether we didn't like them. That's something that's powerful right there. To know that this has been going on for so long and it was not something that was handled.
5 administrations, counting law.
It's crazy to think that, the Clintons, Hillary and Bill, were brought into court and questioned regarding the Epstein files, but Obama never brought to court, even though he was through the administration. Bush, Trump, no one else was questioned. How come Bill Clinton? Is it because he was more deeply in the files? Was it because there were images of him? But something that was never questioned, it's all questioned about your personal relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. The questions never were, why did you do nothing? And did your administration do nothing knowing that this evil network was going on? And that same question can be asked to all of the previous administrations.
And that's why
I'm really curious of the people that are doing the redacting. People are hired by the government to do the redacting, to clean up the files. They know everything. And there's more than one dude doing that. There is a team doing this. They know everything. Are they ever going to speak up? They have all the information. Even the information that not that they're trying to protect names because names have been shown in other areas, but they're trying to protect names in certain situations that are going to actually get them in trouble for doing. I want to know how you feel about administration or anyone that's not being required to follow the laws put in place to bring the Epstein files to everyone, to make it unredacted so that we can see all the files. Why are we not seeing that? And how do you feel about people not having to follow the laws put in place to make that actually happen? If you want to see more on the files, go take a look at this video because it's going to give you a much deeper look. Remember, guys, I will see you over there.